Good evening, everyone. My name is Curtis Good. I'm the Assistant Dean in the College of Nursing here at Kent State University. Allow me to remove my mask so it doesn't sound like Charlie Brown's teacher is hosting tonight's event. A few announcements before we get going. Please try to keep the aisles free of purses and personal belongings for the safety of others during the event. Please wear your masks throughout the entirety of this evening's event, and do not remove them until you're safely outside the building. Please, right now, silence your cell phone. Always a great time for that. If you would like to take any photographs of the ceremony, we recommend that you stand to the left of the seats along the wall as to not obstruct the view of others when taking pictures for the actual pinning. Tonight's ceremony is being recorded and will be available to view Kent State College of Nursing's YouTube channel at a later date. Thank you for all your considerations for our asks for this evening. And here to welcome you tonight to our event is Dr. Tracy Motter, the Associate Dean for the Undergraduate Programs and Associate Professor here at Kent State University's College of Nursing.
Hello, and welcome graduates, families, friends, faculty, and staff. I'm Dr. Tracy Motter, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs and Associate Professor here at Kent State University College of Nursing. On behalf of President Todd Dicon, Senior Vice President and Provost Melody Tankersley, Dean Versi Johnson Mallard, and the entire Kent State community, we welcome you to the College of Nursing's 2021 Summer Convocation Ceremony. This is certainly a unique time in healthcare for you to begin your career. Not only do the hospitals need your expertise and skill set, but literally the whole country and the world. You may be feeling a little extra nervous or anxious as you begin your journey as a nurse, but as I said in classes, trust your Kent State knowledge. You've got this. So with this, I encourage you to be that nurse. You reflect back on your time at Kent State and realize that you were that student, the one who always asked questions, always emailed the faculty to clarify assignments. As you know, that type of diligence is key characteristic of all nursing students. Being that nurse means that you approach each shift with an attitude of confidence, knowledge, and healthy respect for your profession. You'll have confidence because you have worked hard and have completed Kent State University's BSN program. You'll bring a fine-tuned sense of questioning as you continue to learn the real world of nursing. And you'll show respect for the professional team members at the hospital who will help you transition to that all-important RN role. You are a special group of individuals. Not only have you formed close bonds with each other through the years of intense coursework and clinicals, but you've also formed strong relationships with your dedicated faculty who have made this possible for you. Through the ceremony, we recognize the class who will truly transform the lives and the communities that we live. Kent State University College of Nursing is proud to be one of the largest and most comprehensive nursing programs in the nation. Program-wide, the College of Nursing has graduated 549 of our BSN program students at Kent and our regional campuses over this last year. This summer, our College of Nursing will graduate 145 students, approximately 77 of whom are with us this evening. These graduates are joining 13,500 Kent State alumni. Our college has nearly 100% relevant job placement within 6 months of graduation. With these large numbers, just from our baccalaureate program alone, we are clearly doing our part by educating and preparing tomorrow's professional nurses. It is safe to say that each one of you has completed a rigorous program of study and practice. And before you come before us today and ready to serve the community, the state, and the nation, the community is ready for each one of you. For each of you, I encourage you to take this opportunity at tonight's celebration to reminisce on the years here at Kent State, because tomorrow morning, when your degrees have been granted, your real work will begin in earnest. It is also my sincere hope that you will decide to further your education once you enter the workforce. In our constantly changing and increasingly competitive world, continued study will serve you both well as a profession and as an individual. Please be assured that Kent State will always be here to help you achieve your next academic goal. Not only do I want to recognize the achievements of our graduates here tonight, But I also want to recognize the support, the sacrifices, and the guidance of all the families and friends in the audience. The families and friends who are in the hearts of our graduates. You have provided for our graduates throughout their academic careers. Congratulations and thank you to all of you as well. Graduates, you have earned the respect and admiration of all of us. Best wishes for a productive, happy, and healthful future. Enjoy the rest of this evening and enjoy your graduation ceremony tomorrow. Now I would like to introduce tonight's keynote speaker, Holly Mao. Holly Mao is the Marion Shaughnessy Endowed System Director of Nursing Education and Nurse Leader Center at University Hospitals Health System. Holly earned her BSN at the University of Indianapolis and a Master's of Science in Adult Education at Indiana University, Purdue University of Indianapolis. She is currently a Samuel H. and Marie Miller Scholar in the DNP Nurse Executive Track at Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing, Case Western Reserve University. Holly is board certified in nursing professional development and a certified Hogan assessment coach. She is appointed board commissioner for the American Nurses Credentialing Center Commission on Certification. In 2020, she was named the March of Dimes Nurse Leader of the Year. She currently serves on numerous Schools of Nursing's Clinical Advisory Board, is a past American Nursing Organization of Nurse Leaders Director Fellow, and University of Illinois at Chicago Leader Fellow, and is active in numerous professional organizations. Please help me welcome Holly Mao.
Thank you, Kent University, the School of Nursing leaders and faculty, friends and family, and of course, the reason why we're all here tonight, the graduates. I'm very honored to be here with you. So, I graduated back in 1998, the 90s. It's a long time ago. Yet, I still remember sitting in your seat. I remember my pinning ceremony a little bit. The few things I do recall: I wore a navy dress. I remember taking pictures with my mom and dad and my grandpa. I remember sitting there thinking, I have a bit of a headache, probably as a result of the party from the night before, and thinking about the party that was to come after the ceremony. I vaguely remember getting my nursing pin, and I can tell you I'm pretty hard-pressed to know where it is today. And I can tell you the one thing I absolutely do not recall is the individual that spoke to us. So I think I probably have quite a feat here to either try to make this memorable, or at the minimum, I at least keep this short for you. So why did I choose to become a nurse? When I was 7 years old, and I was a little freckled-nosed, red-headed kid, I was in the kitchen helping my mom, and my dad had stayed home from work that day. He wasn't feeling well, and he was 37, relatively healthy. And as we're working, my mom and I hear a crash come from my parents' bedroom. We run back to see what's happening. My dad is on the floor having a seizure, and as he had fallen, he had hit his head. Of course, I was extremely frightened. I'm 7 years old, right? What is going on? Now, I remember my mom calling the ambulance, and you got to remember, this is the early 80s. We didn't have 911, and we relied on a volunteer fire department and ambulance, meaning it could be 10 minutes or many, many more before help came. So my mom asked me to run to our nearest neighbor's house. You see, our nearest neighbor was Terry, and she was an RN at our local hospital working night shift. So I ran as quickly as I could, and I remember that feeling of once I hit her door, I could barely breathe. My lungs were burning. And I banged on the door, not even thinking, what if she doesn't answer? She's probably sleeping, right? But she did. And she had just been sleeping in her pajamas, and before I could even get the words out that we needed her help, she was already running back to our house, pajamas and all. When I got back there, I remember seeing Terry leaning down next to my dad. She had made him safe, put him in the recovery position. I don't remember a whole lot else that she did technically at that point, but I do remember how she made me feel. She gave me a sense of calm and compassion with just her presence being there, and I felt like everything is going to be okay. And at that moment, I realized I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to be able to provide that same sense of calm and compassion during someone else's most difficult, most stressful, maybe saddest day in their life. So why did you choose to become a nurse? What is your story? What made you come here to become a nurse? Now, that phrase, why did I choose to become a nurse, is something you're going to utter many times throughout your career for various reasons. Did you know that the average NFL running back's career is only 2.5 years long because of the physical toll that's on their body? Comparatively, 1 in 3 nurses, so 1 in 3 of you just look around, 1 in 3 of you will leave the nursing profession within 2 years because of the physical, mental, and emotional toll of the job. And you're going to have lots of times of stress and exhaustion, and you're going to ask yourself, why did I become a nurse? Now, I'm not telling you this to scare you, but rather to face the reality that nursing is a tough profession. But you will have incredibly rewarding moments that may sustain you during the challenging times. But you will also have days that push you to the edge of what you think you can handle. It is easy to slip into being cold, callous, checked out, burnout after many hard days. And I'm sure during your clinicals you might have encountered a nurse that was in that place. But during these times, connect to your story, connect to your why, connect to why you became a nurse. And maybe that will help you get through that tough day. I recall one of the days in my career that I questioned why I became a nurse. I'd been a nurse several years at this point. I was an interventional radiology nurse, or an IR nurse, at a level 1 trauma center. I was on call. It was my first night on call off of orientation by myself. So a little bit of anxiety going on, absolutely. The case was a 7-year-old boy who had been run over by a pickup and a trailer. He was in very critical condition, and a big if he were to survive, he would no longer be the same little boy he once was. So the IR staff, we stabilized his liver laceration, or also known as his liver bleed for you non-medical people. And it was planned that he would go to surgery next, or the OR. And we were just kind of waiting to get the go-ahead to take him up. And as we're kind of just standing, waiting, it felt like forever, but it was only a few minutes, I noticed as one of the doors opened that I saw his parents out in the hall trying to catch a glimpse of their son. So I went out to them, and I grabbed them, and I said, "Come in." I brought him into the procedure room. Of course, that was against the rules. I don't recommend doing that on your first day, but it was against the rules, but I felt like that's what they needed. They needed a chance to be with their son before he went to surgery. So they had a chance to hug him, squeeze his hand, say they loved him, kiss his forehead. And as they left to go to the OR, the mom stopped and turned to me and grabbed my hand and squeezed it and mouthed the words, "Thank you." I just about lost it. It hit me so emotionally. To this day, years later, I can still get a tear in my eye from the situation. It was so heart-wrenching. I held it together, though, because it wasn't about me. But I can tell you, when I drove home that night, I cried and I cried. And I thought, why am I doing this? I can't take this. I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to go back another day for this. It was all the things that went through my head. I started to compose myself, and I took a breath, and I thought about it for a second. And I thought, why did I choose to become a nurse? And I remembered Terry, my neighbor. And I remembered that calm and compassion she brought me. And I thought, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I brought that to that family. And even if I didn't, I tried to. And that is why I became a nurse. And so I was able to wake up the next day and show up for work again and do it all over. But most certainly, connecting to my story helped me get through that terribly emotional time. Last year, during Nurses Week, I received a book called Shining the Light on All the Right. I always have to look at the title of that. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. But it's by Mark and Bonnie Barnes. And see, the Barnes family was so appreciative of the nursing care their son Patrick received and how the nurses made them feel, they wrote this book. And in their book, they explained how the nurses comfort them, made them feel it was okay to care for themselves, and how the nurses made their last days with Patrick more bearable, less horrible. The Barnes wondered how many nurses don't even see how what they do is so extraordinary, how they impact the lives of so many, and who just see it all as doing their job. After Patrick passed away, the Barnes family set up the Daisy Foundation. You may have heard of the Daisy Award. It is a way for patients, families, co-workers to honor nurses and express their gratitude for the compassionate care they received. The intent was to shine a light on the care millions of nurses provide every day without realizing the difference they are making in others' lives. It is easy to become busy in the work, the task, and the demands of the job and lose sight of the impact we have as nurses on our patients and our families. Nurses have such a positive image that for the last 20 years, the Gallup poll's most trusted profession is nursing. And just recently, nursing was named for the 19th year straight the most ethical profession in healthcare. In order to provide that care and compassion our profession is known for, we first have to care for ourselves. We are really great at caring for others, not just in the hospital, but at home as well. But when it comes to ourselves, well, us nurses, we kind of suck at it. According to the American Nurse Association Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation campaign, nurses are less healthy than the average American. Research shows that nurses are more likely to be overweight, have higher levels of stress, and get less sleep. It is really impossible to care for others when we have not taken the time to attend to ourselves. Now, nurses wear it like a badge of honor to say, I worked 12 hours, I didn't pee once, or I didn't take lunch, or I didn't get a break. It's almost like a sense of accomplishment. But this does not make you a better nurse. In fact, your ability to care for others will deteriorate if you do not find a way to care for yourself. As I'm sure you've heard on an airplane, if the yellow oxygen mask comes down, who do you put it on first? Yourself. And then you help others. It is not selfish, nor will it make you less of a nurse to make yourself a priority. Self-care looks really different for everyone. Your self-care may be telling someone no, setting those boundaries, meditating, exercising, talking to a friend, taking a lunch. It really could be about anything. Self-care also includes, though, advocating for yourself. Don't forget to advocate. Advocate for your needs, your wages, your time, and for respect. Now, my self-care is I like to box. So I like to, at the end of a stressful day, I go and kick and punch a bag at the end of the day, and it makes me feel so much better. My husband always knows when I haven't gone boxing. He's like, you're kind of grumpy tonight. You didn't go punch something. And it helps me, and it really does help. But I have to say, I still struggle at times to care for myself and to make that time. And so I have to plan and be intentional. Now, most certainly, I would like to say my self-care days are always going to that day-long trip to the spa, but that's really not reasonable for most of us, given the amount of time it requires and money. But there are lots of ways in just a few minutes to give yourself a few moments back. And that makes me think of my son, Alexander, who's here with us tonight. He's 10, and we were about 3 months into the pandemic. He could tell I was pretty stressed, and he told me one day, Mom, breathe in the pizza. What? Breathe in the pizza. And I'm like, okay, so you breathe in the pizza, and then he goes, now blow out the birthday candles. And so that is a trick that I use for myself many times. During a meeting that maybe I'm getting a little irritated or stressed, I'll take a moment to breathe in the pizza and blow out the birthday candles. And that quickly is a quick self-care moment for myself. Now, I mentioned this in particular about needing to find quick ways and those few minutes of time for self-care is because you're going to have so many barriers to do self-care, and it's going to be so easy to say, I'm too busy, I have too much to do, I can't ask somebody to help me, and the list goes on. I have said all those. I've said all those this week myself. And it comes down to you have to figure out how can you maneuver through those barriers. Those barriers will always be there. So how can you bring it back and be sure to care for yourself? Now, self-care looks different. As I mentioned, self-care is also about building your ability to be resilient in turbulent times. This past year and a half with the pandemic, it's most certainly been the most stressful of my 23-year nursing career. And it most certainly has been difficult for our communities and our healthcare organizations. But what has helped me not only survive, but perhaps thrive at times was my ability to be flexible and adapt, be open to new ideas and ways of doing things, and maintaining an optimistic outlook. And when I say an optimistic outlook, I'm not saying everything's sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns. It's not. But being able to see the brightness, the hope that's within maybe a bad situation can help sustain you get through. Now, if you still find yourself thinking, why did I choose to become a nurse, after you've connected to your story of why, and you've been taking care of yourself, maybe you're just not in the right area of nursing. And that's the great thing about our profession. There are so many options. And so if you find you're not in the right spot, try something different. There are so many different opportunities for you. I've had lots of opportunities through my nursing career. I started as a hematology-oncology nurse, and then went to a pregnancy and HIV program for the Indiana State Department of Health, ran an AIDS education training center. And I've had other opportunities such as behavioral health, research, clinical education, procedural nursing, IR, clinical management, and of course, leadership in nursing education. This variety has most certainly helped me sustain my career for the long term. It's kept me challenged, but also kept me fresh. So no matter if you have a career like mine or stay in the same specialty for 20 years, never stop learning. Keep growing and developing yourself. You will never know it all, and no one should expect you to. Use your resources to help you be the best you can be and keep learning. Go to conferences, attend webinars, get board certified, join professional organizations, become a board member for an organization, or go back to school. There's so many options for you. So I'm going to wrap up, and the biggest thing I wanted to say is congratulations to all of you. You are embarking on a fantastic, rewarding career. You are joining the ranks of a noble profession. And don't forget to remember why you chose to become a nurse. Remember to care for yourself, or breathe in the pizza, and don't stop learning. I want to end with a quote from Maya Angelou, as I think this one really illustrates the impact that nurses have on others. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Congratulations again, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Holly, for that heartfelt speech. And yeah, I can imagine on NCLEX Day, a lot of you are going to be breathing in the pizza and blowing out the candles. So thank you so much. Tonight, we recognize our graduates from all our programs. Please stand when I call out your program. The four-year BSN students, do we have any of those? Yay! And then we have our accelerated BSN students, which is a 15-month program. Stand up. These students have earned another degree in something else and have decided to pick the great career of nursing and has come back and learned to be a nurse in 15 months. So congratulations to all of you. Also noted in your programs, we identify students who are members of the Honors College, Sigma Theta Tau Delta Xi chapter, the Student Nursing Association. To those of you with these designations next to your name, we applaud you for your extra effort, your involvement, and your accomplishments. Tonight's pinning ceremony is the culmination of the initial journey to professional nursing education. It is a bridge from nursing's past to nursing's future. The nursing pin is a 1,000-year-old symbol of service dating back to the Maltese Cross, which was adopted by the Crusaders and worn on their habits as a symbol of service. Nursing pins are presented to newly graduated nurses by their faculty at a pinning ceremony or convocation as a symbolic welcoming to the nursing profession by marking the successful passage from nursing student to the practice roll. Nursing pins are worn proudly by RNs on their hospital uniforms, identifying the nursing school from which they graduated. You will see some pins, but like Holly, I have a pin somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is. But it's the symbol of our profession. And so now it's time for our graduates to be pinned. I would like to reintroduce Dr. Curtis Good, Assistant Dean of Operations and Student Services for the College of Nursing. He will announce the graduates by name.
Assisting with the presentation of Kent State University College of Nursing pins and flowers, our College of Nursing faculty members, Anne Marie James, Mary Kutchin, and Sarah Bixler. Please hold your applause if you can until all of our graduates have been recognized this evening. And apologies in advance for any last names that I butcher. Jamie Almaraz. Allison Barnes. Listy Barnhart. Madison Boone. Jennifer Cater. Anaria Calipo. Samantha Chalupka. Allison Christo. Brittany Clemens. Emily Cornelius. Daniel Craver. Alexis Davis. Anna de Blasio. Matthew Estep. Tanner Fix. Sofia Gonzalez Luvano. Taylor Haig. Lenore Hauk. Margaret Hayden. Taylor Higginbotham. Carla Hoffer. Camila Huffman. Morgan Eisenhower. Marissa Eichner. Courtney Ingersoll. Deandra Jacobs. You husbands are in for it now. Natalie Johnson. Madison Justice. Emma Canarak. Hannah Kent. Alexandria Krensis. Christian Law. Ryan Lichtenberger. Morgan Lopez. Katie Melito. Morgan Mansier. Morgan Marshall. Sarah Martin. Paige McCrary. Kayla Miller. Deja Newton. Vanessa Oliver. Faith Orsini. Sadie Oswich. Kaylee Piersick. Alyssa Peters. Emily Phillips. Caitlin Rediger. Mackenzie Reese. Carissa Ryan. Rhiannon Rivera. Ali Rodriguez. Alexandra Root. John Russo. Kristen Ryba. Kristen Santos.
That's my wife. It's our 5th anniversary today as well.
Sarah Miller. Brianna Schlegel.
That's my pretty.
Morgan Schnellbach. Courtney Shutt. Hannah Simmons. Angelica Simpson. Stephen Simon. Catherine Zaley. Madison Telkamp. Julia Tarek. Ashley Thomas. Maria Tomkani. Lawinda Tucker. Jacqueline Washington. Alexis Went. Lacey West. Joshua Wortman. Tate Yeckley. Once everyone has taken their seats, the graduates will recite the class pledge. Following tradition, a BSN graduate from the Kent State University's College of Nursing will lead the latest graduating class through the pledge. This evening, Sarah Bixler, lecturer in the College of Nursing, who received her BSN in 2000 and her MSN in 2014, both from Kent State University, will do the honors.
Good evening. Will the graduates please stand to recite the class pledge? This pledge was written by the graduating class of 1973. With me. We, the graduating class of 2021, do hereby pledge, as members of the helping profession,
to uphold high standards of professionalism, to provide high-quality, comprehensive nursing care, to promote primary prevention and optimum wellness, not only as professionals in the clinical setting, but also as members of society, and to be ever cognizant of opportunities for knowledge and of our responsibility for continuing professional growth. This we pledge together as members of this nursing class and individually as members of a vast, expanding health team. Graduates, you may now be seated.
Congratulations. Tomorrow at commencement, each of you will officially become alumni of Kent State University and the Kent State University College of Nursing. You have chosen an amazing profession. You have worked hard, and we're proud of each and every one of you. We hope that you'll keep in touch and share your success with us. Those of you who are Sigma Theta Tau members, please remember to wear your cords at graduation tomorrow. And now, on behalf of the College of Nursing, I am proud to present the graduating class of summer 2021. And before we go, please enjoy a brief slideshow of our students' memories while they were here at the College of Nursing. After the slideshow, the students will recess out of the auditorium and stand on the stairs for a class photo. Guests, please remain seated as the students watch the show until they have left the auditorium for their photo. On with the show. wishes on your continued success. At this time, Dr. Curtis Good will lead the graduates out of the hall. Again, please remain seated until the graduates have left. And congratulations, everyone. See you tomorrow.